All right, we're back. It's After Hours with Travis Gibbs and Jordan Lass after quite the hiatus. Not to get into too much detail here because people really don't give a shit, if I'm being honest. Um, it's we went through a little bit of changes in our building. We both acquired some new responsibility, and frankly, we've just been too busy to do this. But I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I said this to you earlier today. I'm like, we got to talk about Kevin McGonigle. I mean,
I was thinking about it. I don't think we've done this since I became part of the station. Have we?
um,
Because I think you left on paternity leave
yeah,
not too soon after I took over,
yeah,
or you were getting ready to something like that. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't even think we've done this since I became part of the station. Afternoons now, guys, 3 to 7.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And we both like to talk sports. I know we work on a classic rock station, but listen, if you like sports, listen to us, right? That's
Yeah.
that's the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball though started yesterday. My goodness. The Tigers started their regular season against the San Diego Padres, a really good baseball team, another team that's I think in the top 5 or 6 in terms of odds to win the World Series this year. They spend a lot of money. They got a lot of big bats, a lot of good pitchers, but the Tigers yesterday, oh, not just I mean, you can really break it down to one person. Kevin McGonigle stole the show.
Oh yeah.
4 hits, 2 RBIs. I mean, an immediate impact, swung at the first pitch he saw. I mean, doubled down the line, scoring 2 runs in the first inning. How fun was that?
I mean, I was listening on the way home from work. Well, no, not from work. I was listening here at the studio. Um, I was listening to what was it? Spring training a couple of days ago. I got that mixed up. But anyways, um, the fact that I'm like, okay, we're bases loaded. Somebody's gonna clear the bases right before he gets up there. And then was it Riley Green that drew the walk?
Yeah.
And then it's like, I got the text. Could be a really big moment right here for Kevin. And then not 2 seconds later, RBI double.
Yeah.
2 RBIs. And I'm
Yeah.
like, the fact that he did it on the first pitch,
Yeah.
and
Massive stones.
AJ talked about it like he was nervous, and it's like, well, if that's the baseline for nerves,
Mhm.
I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised through the season because
Yeah.
you think about everything. The dude's 21 years old. He's been talked about all summer. I mean, we were talking about him at the end of last year.
Should they
And
call him up for the postseason? Yeah.
by the
Yeah.
way, he would have been real nice in the postseason, wouldn't he have?
No kidding. When we needed a base hit to take the lead in the 10th or the 11th inning against Seattle in game 5 of that divisional series, would have been nice to have a guy
Well,
like him step in.
And especially since he started on the opening day roster, you're clearly not worried about service time. So thanks for that, Scott Harris.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to our original point.
Hey, blue skies, sunshine now.
Yes,
Okay. All
yes.
right.
I don't know. I think he just comes in and becomes that guy. Like, just the way he carries. I mean,
Yeah.
Greg Gagne said it on the broadcast yesterday. Like, he's such a cerebral player for being 21 years old.
He's only
carries
going to
a
get better.
notebook
Yeah.
like JD Martinez did. And
Right.
Look how that worked out for JD.
I saw yesterday with McGonigle, before the first game, somebody put out like what AI determined to be predictions for his stats this season. Year 1, like a 750 OPS, 55 to 60 RBIs, you know, a batting average of like 240 to 250. That I mean, I would say that's maybe an average, a little bit above average rookie campaign for a
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
first year in the bigs. If I think what we saw yesterday, I think you can definitely expect a little bit more than that going forward.
Oh,
If
I
he's
think
going to play this way. I mean, granted, he's not going to go 4 for 5 and knock in 2 runs every night, but if he can give you this type of performance once every 3 to 4 days, like a superstar does, I mean, we're talking about a guy that's going to have a huge impact right away. Kind of like what Aaron Judge was for the Yankees.
yeah, or Jackson Merrill for San Diego last night, the team you're playing this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Guys like Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yeah.
The kid up with the Brewers.
Yeah, there's a lot of examples around the league.
Just guys that come in, and Julio Rodriguez was the same way.
With Seattle, yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
The kid with the Rangers, we had his brother,
Yeah.
Young.
Oh, yeah.
It's spelled like Jung, which I still don't understand. But
Yeah.
anyways, you have these guys that come in and just make an impact right away.
I think the reason why, I mean, everybody's bricked up in this state that are, Tigers fans is because we haven't had somebody come through the system and have this much hype behind them and then turn around and deliver results immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time we've had that?
The actual own homegrown bat.
We haven't, on it, to be completely honest.
Anderson,
Maybe Curtis Granderson,
Austin Jackson.
but Jackson came from the Yankees. He was in a trade from the Yankees. So, I mean, we didn't even draft him.
I don't know. You don't want to get the cart in front of the horse, but it's like, I don't know. What you're seeing from him is just somebody who is wise beyond their years, mature beyond their years. And you kind of heard it with AJ in the pregame, and he was talking about how, you know, slotting him sixth. There's people that wanted him higher, and it's like, well, this is the way that it worked with George Springer and Jose Altuve and Bregman, and he listed other players, and it's just like you're seeing, I think, something big happening because they're recreating what they did in Houston. And now that you have a guy that can evaluate talent, acquire it, and develop it, and you have a system that actually develops talent now,
Yeah.
I can understand why they have been I can't think of the word, to make moves, but it's like, okay,
Hesitant.
yes, they're reticent.
Hesitant.
Yeah, there's a couple of ways.
What
to
other
say that,
word
but
rhymes with it?
anyways,
Okay.
I think they're in a spot where you have to go all in.
At this point, yeah.
Framber was an all-in move.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, Riley Green, is he going to strike out 200 plus times again? He drew a walk in his first plate appearance.
Yes, and here's the thing with McGonigle in this lineup now too. It doesn't matter if he's batting first, if he's batting sixth, if he's batting ninth. If he's gonna go up there and be aggressive at the plate and give you quality at bats every night, it doesn't have to be going 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs, like I said earlier. But if he's drawing a high pitch count, if he's just up there being somewhat of a threat, he's not just a warm body going up there and swinging a bat. He's going to take a lot of pressure off of guys like Riley Green in the lineup, a guy that struck out a ton last year because I think he was pressing when the offense kind of went flat towards the end of the season, or even a guy like Spencer Torkelson, because I think we know at this point, if you look at some of the other younger guys that have come up through the system the past few years, like Riley Green and Torkelson and Keith, I think we know Torkelson's a good player. He's never going to be a superstar.
No.
I think Riley Green's a really good player. Is he ever going to be a star?
Can he cut down on the strikeouts?
Sure. But is he ever going to be superstar level?
I think he could still be.
Maybe. But I think if you're talking about Riley Green, he'll never be like the main act. He will always be the Robin in that situation.
No, because you have the main act.
Right. Yeah, you have.
You just got to give him time.
And Colt Keith the same way. I think there's areas in his game where he's going to improve as he gets older, but he's never going to be the star.
I disagree on the Colt Keith one. I think there's still time in that. And I think a big thing for me, too, is he struggled in the field. And I think the way that the roster is currently constructed, you can DH him a lot.
Yeah.
You can keep him out of the field. And I think we're still seeing some movement forward with him. So it's like, okay, the way that I'm looking at it, it's like you have McGonigle. If he can be even in the conversation for Rookie of the Year, he doesn't even necessarily have to win it. If he's in the conversation, he's impacting you. He's probably got a 3 to 5 WAR.
Yeah.
Then you look at the other guys. Can Riley Green cut down the strikeouts? He talked about it.
Yeah.
I don't need to hit a 400-foot moonshot every time. And that goes to what you're saying about knowing when the offense went stagnant. That's why I'm thinking you put somebody like McGonigle second. He's an on-base guy.
Yeah.
Gets on base. So it's like, okay, if McGonigle can be in the conversation of Rookie of the Year, if Riley can cut down on the strikeouts, if Colt Keith can take a step forward, if Parker Meadows can be half as awful as he was with a bat in his hand at the end of last year, the defense you take all day out in center field.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, do any of the other youngsters take a forward step forward. Dylan Dingler looked real good last
Oh
night.
my
So it's
God, he
like,
was great
even
last
if
year.
even if all of them take an incremental step forward and not one of them like takes a huge leap,
Yeah.
you go from, okay, maybe we get to the ALCS and lose, or maybe we get to the World Series and lose, where if those things happen and then you go out, and I am still confident. I know there's a lot of people that don't want to put them in that situation because they didn't go get a bat. You still have time.
Yeah.
You have plenty of time. You can go out at the deadline and get yourself a legitimate third baseman or shortstop. You pick which one you're going to put McGonigle at. I think you put him at short and you get yourself a third baseman because those are typically boppers.
Yeah.
You go get a bat, instantly you go from maybe competing to we could win the damn thing.
How crazy is that? It's crazy just considering, I guess the dialogue that's taken place over the last few years around the Tigers and Scott Harris and their inability to, I guess, improve the team dramatically at times where the fan base is practically begging for it.
Yeah.
But now we're at a point where I think while there have been deficiencies in places where Harris and the front office have screwed up over the past few years, I think we can now start to give them their flowers a little bit because you're seeing the fruits of their labor. You're seeing guys like McGonigle. I don't think Max Clark is that far behind. You're talking about the other guy, Briseño, who's just, skyrocketed through the farm system over the past couple of years.
I'm a little worried about Max. I did not like what I saw in spring training. He is not ready.
I think he's a little.
Maybe if he focused less time on how many chains he's wearing and the stupid eye paint and worried about playing baseball, he might be a little better.
Yeah.
I had a friend that said that in Chicago yesterday.
Yeah.
Huh. Kevin McGonigle didn't have a bunch of chains on.
No.
Imagine that.
Well, I think he's going to have an opportunity here this season to focus a little bit more now that he doesn't have his buddy Kevin with him in the minors.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I interacted with him a little bit at the Whitecaps. I do a little bit work for them on the side. He's got a bit of an attitude adjustment that he needs.
Sure.
And I think maybe going out and performing the way that he did in spring training and getting sent down before it even finished.
Humbled.
That hopefully that was some humble pie for the young
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Because too many people have been doing a lot of this for him. If you're watching on YouTube or wherever, you can see my hand motion. I think he just got his head got a little big.
Yeah.
The one in his trousers and the one on his shoulders.
Well, the Tigers, full regular season in full swing now. They play the Padres again tonight. They got them through the weekend. Framber Valdez starts tonight. I'm really excited to see what he has to offer in game 2.
Yeah. One more note. So remember the infield single for McGonigle where it wasn't even close? Well, here's why. He registered a 30.2 feet per second sprint speed on this infield single. Sprint speeds of 30 feet per second or greater are considered elite.
So he's got elite speed too.
He has everything.
Yeah, the complete package.
He could be the next Mike Trout. He could be the next Bryce Harper.
And he plays for the Tigers. God, what a breath of fresh air. It's been an awful decade of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Since they blew it up when they started trading everybody back in 2016 and, Chris took over the team and, God, they were bad for a long time. So this is more than due.
Question for you.
Yes.
Now that things have shaken out, let's take a look at all of the local Detroit teams here. Who do you think is in the best shape? I'll give you my list first.
Oh,
I think
one
the Tigers
to 4
have skyrocketed themselves to number 1.
Okay.
I think the Pistons are in number 2.
Yeah.
They have fatal flaws. They're not going to go very far in this postseason because they didn't address him. Getting Kevin Herter, I'm sorry, waste of time.
But he scored 25 points against the Pelicans last night.
Oh. Yeah, they don't shoot enough threes and they don't shoot it at a high enough volume.
No.
They're going to have to do some work. I think it's time for Trajan to get off his ass and do something. I would put the Lions at 3. I have very big questions heading into this season. I think it's a throwaway year.
Yeah.
We've spent way too much time rolling around in the $5 DVD bin at Walmart. We talked about Cade Mays. PFF said that it was our worst signing of the offseason. Said that basically he is a waste of space in run blocking.
Yeah.
That's good.
We'll talk a little bit more so than the Red
And then
Wings are fourth.
Bro,
Listen,
that game against the Senators was a must win. They were out 3 defensemen, and that is the effort you give us. There's a bunch of empty husks wearing the winged wheel.
Yeah.
That team is pathetic, and Steve Yzerman should be fired for it.
I 100% agree. I think there's too many people still I see on social media trying to defend the situation. Well, did you know the situation that Yzerman took over was terrible? There's only 2 people left in the entire system from that time. It's Dylan Larkin and Michael Rasmussen. Meanwhile, Yzerman turned around and gave the corpse of Rasmussen a contract 2 seasons ago, an extension, because he thought he was so great. So I'm tired of hearing about it.
It's year 7, fellas, and we haven't even made the playoffs. There's been teams that have been good, bad, and good again in the time you've just been bad.
I think I'm lock and step with you on that list, 1 to 4. And the thing with the Red Wings too that gets me, and the people that are so ready to just go to battle and defend Yzerman and defend the Red Wings in the current situation.
Steve Botts.
Let me ask you a question. In a game like the other night against Ottawa, where they had to call up a handful of young guys to step in and play in a meaningful game, which was, I mean, all of their games are essentially a playoff game because Ottawa's right in the race for that final wild card spot too. Their young guys delivered. One of them, their young defenseman, their 20-year-old defenseman scored a goal. My question for these people that defend Yzerman in this situation right now, when we're short bodies, why do we call up 32-year-old Dominic Shine to help us and not one of our great young prospects that we seem to have so many of?
Because maybe the prospects aren't that good.
Well, okay, then so what's different between this regime and what was going on with Ken Holland?
Absolutely nothing.
No. In fact, the only thing that's different is there's less willingness to go out and spend to make the team better. At least Holland, he tried to make the team better.
He did.
So, I mean, really, it's a worse situation.
But wait for the kids, right?
Let's wait until Dylan Larkin's 40 before we finally win a playoff game.
Well, and here's my other thing. This fan base wants to act like he's the greatest player ever. I hate to break it to you guys. He's a second-line center on any legitimate team.
See, I don't agree with that, but
he is. Dude, the facts are the facts. He is a second-line winger or centerman on a Stanley Cup team. I am sorry. He is not your number 1 center. You have to go out and get a dude.
Yeah.
A legit dude.
Well, or at least draft and develop one, but we can't seem to do that either, can we?
No, it's been 7 years.
Good God.
Still waiting to see Alfredson. Palinka's been terrible.
He breaks his stick on every other slap shot he has.
Guys, it's pathetic. I'm not even a Wings fan, and I'm angry.
Oh God, it's brutal. I honestly, I told myself, I turned off the TV the other night. My wife was sitting on the couch while I was watching the game. When Ottawa made it 2-0 in the second period, I turned off and go, I'm done. I'm not watching another game this season because I know how it's going to play out. They're going to do exactly what they've done the last 3 years.
Fill their diaper
when it matters.
Yep.
It was fun being in first place in the Eastern Conference in December, though. It was fun.
It was like the Tigers last year. First one to 50, first one to 60, and you shit down your leg.
That's our talk on Detroit sports. Tonight, the Sweet 16 continues. Both Michigan and Michigan State play. Jordan, I guess if I'm looking at both of these games right now, out of the 2 teams to make it to the Elite Eight, I mean, I have to go with Michigan. I hate to say it, but it's Michigan. They're playing Alabama, a 4 seed that's without their best player because he got popped for having a pound of weed.
Nate Oates.
Hey, man.
Quite the program down there.
NIL money wasn't good enough. You got to sell dope, too. Makes sense.
I think Nate's headed to UNC.
Yeah.
He says he's not, but I don't buy it.
I love that it was unprovoked that Ward Manuel had to say to the media that their goal is to make Dusty May Michigan's head coach as long as possible. Unprovoked, not even asked about the UNC job.
Interesting.
You a little worried, Ward?
Yeah, I think he is.
Well,
I actually saw Ward at Chrysler Arena last weekend.
Did you?
Yeah.
You have bodyguards around him?
No, he was by himself.
You know, I think a lot of people are still wondering why he has a job. Well, it's because he knows where the bodies are
Half
buried.
the time they wonder where he is. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Right.
Nowhere to be found.
Well, Michigan plays Alabama tonight at 7:30. Michigan State plays UConn tonight at 9:45. Here's my take. I'm a Spartan fan. I've watched this team play all season. I think they outplayed their expectations a little bit this year. I think it'd be different if Jace Richardson stuck around for a sophomore season. They weren't predicted to be in the top 4 in the Big Ten. They finished second. They got dealt a bad hand in this tournament. They should have been a 2 seed, got made a 3 seed because of the results of a Sunday game, which never happens. And they got put in the worst region possible. If you're talking about making a run, the possibility of making a run, they get UConn, Duke, and a lot of other great teams in their bracket who are now eliminated. But still, you got to go through a UConn team tonight that probably should have been a 1 seed despite losing in the Big East tournament. And if you make it through them, you're going to have to go through Duke, who's the best team in college basketball. So that's kind of where I'm at. If one of these 2 teams are making it to the Elite Eight, it's going to be Michigan.
Who's Michigan? Oh, they're playing Bama. I don't know. Have different thoughts on State, and I have different thoughts on UConn. If you looked at their odds to win the title versus all of the other top teams, it really wasn't close. I'm pretty sure they're like plus 1,400, plus 1,500.
Really?
They're not as good as they've been in the past. I think a lot of people are getting caught up in the fact that they won back to back. They're not even close to either one of those teams. I hate to break it to UConn fans, but they're not. So my opinion's different.
You think Sparty's going to win tonight?
If Cohen Carr can fill up the 3 again, one more game, and you can play well, they have a fighter's chance in this game. I really think that. And then you look at Duke. I'm sorry, you're out 2 starters. That's going to catch up to you at some point. They haven't really played anyone up to this point. And then you get a team like Michigan State coached by a guy like Tom Izzo. That's often where the wheels fall off for a team that is battling 2 injuries like
Am
that.
I downplaying the situation? Do they have a chance to win it all this year?
To win tonight.
Do you think they have a chance to win it all? If you look at the teams that are left,
let's just take a look. Let's take a look at the odds right now. We'll go to the futures for the NCAA tournament and just see where everybody's at.
You look up the odds. I think it's important to mention that after tonight, there's a possibility of 5 Big Ten teams being in the remaining 8.
And you could have an all 4 Final Four of Big Ten teams. Question for you while I look this up. Are you willing to root for Michigan, your rival, in order to be one step closer to a Michigan State championship?
I don't think my heart could handle a Michigan State national championship.
Here's my thing, though.
It's the ultimate FU to the other fan base.
It is.
Whoever wins. You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of people would say Michigan, but I'm going to be, what's his name from College Game Day?
Lee Corso. Not so fast,
my friend. You know what's really hard to do?
Beat a team 3 times in one season. I know where
it's
you're
real
going.
Hard to do.
I know where you're going.
So as a State, somewhat of a fan, a secondary fan, I see that and I'm like, I want that.
Yeah.
I want Michigan State, matchup 3. U of M just going to walk in there and think what they're going to do what they did the last 2 times, and then Tom Izzo hits him with a steel fucking chair.
Oh, Howdy Doody is their head coach. Dusty May. Do you love all these like subtle jabs he's getting by other Big Ten coaches right now?
For sure.
You know, if there's one thing, because the big question has been with a lot of these coaches and their media availability going into the Sweet 16 was, if there's one thing you could change about college sports right now, what would it be? Or college basketball? What's one thing you'd change right now? And a lot of the Big Ten coaches have said the active tampering that's going on. And you can see them all glance to the other side of the room where Michigan's waiting to go up for their availability.
Stop paying people.
It's like, Dusty, yeah, we know you're talking to our players after games. Thanks.
He's a dirtbag.
He is 100% Michigan man through and through. So my answer would be no. I'm not willing to root for Michigan. I want to see them. I want to see them go down because, to be completely honest, I'm tired of this dog and pony show with them.
And here's my thing with Michigan. You don't win a title this year, the season was wasted. I don't even care if you go to the title and lose. Wasted season.
Yeah. At this point, well, I mean, the expectations they built for themselves with adding all these guys in the portal.
You have to win.
You have to.
Either that or it's a failure. I'm sorry.
Well,
so the line tonight, 1.5 for MSU UConn.
So almost a pick 'em.
Mm-hmm. Michigan State's plus 105 currently, and we got UConn at minus 125. Now, if we look at futures, and I think this is priced right, Arizona's plus 240, Michigan's plus 350. I do not agree with Duke being at plus 370.
Yeah.
After that, I think I'm going to surprise you. Illinois plus 750. Purdue plus 1,200. Iowa State plus 1,700. They were my dark horse to win it. I actually have a $25 bet for them to win it. And then followed by UConn at plus 2,500 and Michigan State at plus 3,000.
MSU just not zero respect. Well, I think the biggest issue with Michigan State and why I don't have any faith in them going forward in this tournament now is it's just their lack of offensive production outside of Fears and Kohler. I mean, you're going to get double digits from both of those guys in a must-have-it game, but where else is it going to come from? Is it going to come from Jordan Scott, a freshman? Is it going to come from Trey Fort, who, magically Michigan State we have this elite shooter on our bench that can create offense for himself. Let's play him now. It's almost like they stored him on the shelf for this moment.
Yeah.
Is it going to come from a guy like Cohen Carr, who you can't rely on consistently to shoot the ball? I mean, he's great around the rim. We know that. It's Carson Cooper too. I mean, is he going to give you 18 points in a game or is he going to give you 0? You know what I mean?
That's their issue.
It's the issue, but it's also the reason why I see people like you going, dude, think about it, because one of those given guys could have those moments on any given night to support the cast.
And then another team has a bad night and you take advantage, but I don't know. I'm like, the more I think about it, I'm like, I think whoever wins Michigan's side of the bracket is going to win. It's going to be Michigan or Arizona.
God, I hate to say it. And I would hate to see Michigan. Oh, man.
I'm not that big of a fan of watching Arizona win it either.
No.
I mean, I'd rather see them win it than Michigan.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I just don't see Duke doing it without those two players.
Yeah. And to be completely honest, I just don't have the trust in Shire like I would with like Coach K to get it done.
But that's my problem with the coach out of Arizona.
If we're being completely honest, can you one last thing before we go?
Yeah.
Can you agree with me on this? Out of the coaches remaining in the tournament, can you trust Tom Izzo the most?
Unfortunately, him and May are pretty close. May's a great evaluator of talent.
Sure.
He can coach him up.
Sure.
Obviously, he's got money to throw at these kids, so that helps.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, maybe. The only one I think that we're forgetting about, and I'm surprised their odds are below Michigan State, St. John's.
Oh,
there's
Pitino.
one coach. Pitino and Izzo would be the two.
Yeah.
And you got Dan Hurley. I mean,
the original gangster matchup. Who?
Dan Hurley.
Oh, Hurley. I know. He's a chode through and through.
What were they calling the potential Izzo Pitino matchup? Like the Brajol Bowl or something?
Yeah. 100%.
Apicola Bowl.
The OGs, man. The made men. Anyway, that's After Hours. Travis Gibbs, Jordan Last. We'll be back next week to talk more about the games and everything else in between.